36, Senator from Bristol and Norfolk, Mr. Feeney has filed an amendment. The clerk will read.
Amendment number 136 by Mr. Feeney, accelerating training opportunities for commercial truck drivers in the Commonwealth.
Senator from Bristol and Norfolk, Senator Feeney.
Today on this bill, and I want to really thank the Chair of Ways and Means for the work that him and his staff have done, a very thorough vetting of all the priorities that each of our colleagues have brought to him through this process, and the residents and businesses and families of the Commonwealth, as they've had an open and transparent process all the way through. And I know it's not easy to balance those priorities, and we have that today. And also to thank our Senate President, who has done yeoman's work in really bringing everybody together to make sure that we were not only focusing on just a chosen few, but really doing the work of the Commonwealth and making sure that we were addressing many of the needs in this once-in-a-generation piece of legislation that we're debating today. Madam President, I appreciate the opportunity also to take a moment to rise in support of this redrafted amendment, number 136, relative to accelerating training opportunities for commercial truck drivers in the Commonwealth. This amendment, Madam President, will provide $975,000 for the expansion of the driver training program operated by the International Brotherhood of Teamsters Local 25 for the purpose of accelerating a commercial truck driver training program in the Commonwealth, provided that not more than 30% of these funds may be expended for upgrades to training equipment, and importantly, Madam President, to incentivize private investment to do the same, that these funds in this amendment are subject to a 1-to-1 matching requirement. We have that commitment, and it's going to make this even stronger. For nearly a decade, Madam President, industry experts have been predicting a shortage of well-qualified, safe, commercial drivers, not only in the Commonwealth, but throughout the United States. This expected shortage of commercial drivers has come to a head a lot faster, though, than we even expected just a couple of years ago due to the COVID-19 pandemic. If my colleagues would simply take a moment and just Google, quote, national truck driver shortage, just a simple Google search, you'll literally get hundreds of links to recent articles with titles and studies with headlines like the following: commercial truck driver shortage exacerbated by pandemic, significantly affecting supply chain, and other articles like national truck driver shortage hurts business. The nightly national news recently reminds us every single night when you turn on the news to order our holiday gifts now due to ongoing supply chain problems. They cite, number one, ports are backed up, and number two, cargo ships are sitting outside shipping channels and idling in open water. No industry is immune, Madam President, from freight to trash, packages to school buses even, both local and daily runs, and especially over-the-road trips. The shortages of qualified CDL licensed drivers has been felt right here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. It is both clear and evident that the predicted shortage of drivers has come to a head, as I said earlier, faster because of the pandemic. Today, the impact is widespread, and the ripple effect is profound. In an October 21st Business Insider article, American Trucking Association CEO Chris Spear said that a shortage of commercial truck drivers is one of the biggest factors contributing to the current supply chain chaos. He estimates the U.S. is down nearly 80,000 truck drivers, and it is causing product shortages, delivery delays, and soaring prices that are borne by businesses, both large and small, and ultimately by consumers. A recent study by the American Trucking Association concluded that more than 1 million truck drivers will have to join the industry. Let me say that again. More than 1 million truck drivers will have to join the industry over the next decade in order to keep pace with the demand. This is because trucks move 71% of the domestic freight in the U.S. At some point in the supply chain, all those packages that are coming to our front steps from different delivery companies and ones that we're picking up in the stores and online will be on a truck driven by a commercial driver. The current Teamsters Local 25 driver training program that we're talking about in this amendment opened its present location in 2016 on 17 acres in Tewksbury, with a focus on training students for long-term, middle-class careers as well-qualified, safe commercial drivers, all while operating that program on tight margins. This training program is a direct and proven pipeline to good paying, benefits providing, important middle-class jobs. And we hope the legislature will help accelerate the expansion of this program to get ahead of the continued depletion of this industry. The data and return on investment is clear, Madam President. Since 2016, 365 students have attended this CDL program. 42% of the students have identified as female and or non-white. The program has been diverse and has been able to train and prepare these students for long-term middle-class careers as well-qualified commercial drivers. The driver training program is also incredibly effective. Nationally, when we look at similar programs across the country, the first try CDL test pass rate is approximately 50%. The program that I'm asking us to invest in today has a first try passage rate of nearly double the national average at over 90 to 100% first try passing of their exam. This means drivers are on the road, earning money, supporting their families, and delivering goods faster. Employment opportunities created by the driver training program typically lead to starting wages from $20 to $37 per hour. CDL jobs typically include health insurance and a pension plan. Presently, the cost to operate the driver training program is $675,000 per year. The request that we have in this amendment is for a doubling down of the program this year with additional resources to upgrade aging equipment. And as I mentioned earlier, and I cannot overstate, it also requires a one-to-one match in which the Teamsters Local 25 Workforce Training Fund will invest its own money to match the Commonwealth's funding. It's important to note that the driver training program is not a proprietary school and does not charge tuition to students. In closing, this investment in the driver training program will address the severe shortage of commercial drivers throughout the Commonwealth and nation, while also creating good-paying, blue-collar, union-represented jobs to support hundreds of Massachusetts families and businesses. This direct investment, Madam President, is a win-win. It represents a smart public-private partnership, builds the middle class by providing good jobs, and works towards easing a supply chain emergency that has been exacerbated by the pandemic. Madam President, I would be remiss if I didn't thank, in particular, the Chair of Ways and Means. We've had many conversations about this issue regarding truck drivers and the need to make sure that we're creating a pipeline of these jobs to solve these issues that we're facing. But also the Minority Leader. Last year, under the leadership of our Senate President, we established working groups. And we were led by the Minority Leader in a working group that really dug deep into supply chain issues. I learned more about the supply chain than I ever thought I would working with the Senator from Gloucester and our colleagues to try and figure out the different nuances of the supply chain issues. And I know he has been supportive in the past of making sure that we have career training and a pipeline to these jobs. So to those two individuals in particular, to our Senate President, and to all of our colleagues for supporting what they are today in this bill, thank you, thank you, thank you. Madam President, I thank you for the opportunity to speak, and to our colleagues for their anticipated support. I hope this amendment is adopted.
Thank you very much. Now question on adoption of the amendment. All those in favor say aye, opposed no. The ayes have it and the amendment is adopted. Amendment number 142, the senator from the Cape and Islands, Senator Seer, has filed an amendment. The clerk will read.
Amendment number 142 by Mr.